You do need to put some time into that. You do need to play with Chat Gemini, and I'm so scarred. Sean
Sean
here.
here. He's got house payments. My monthly rent probably costs more, and we're just two guys who know a little about a lot.
But something we do know a little about is how to fail upwards, and we learned that as we started this podcast.
Yep, so stick around and find out why this podcast almost didn't happen. We got 20 minutes. This is Sean Squared, and we got some unfiltered opinions on things that probably matter. So let's do it.
Sean, we did it.
Did what?
We survived starting this podcast. Don't get me wrong, I had a blast, and it has been so fun releasing these episodes. This is only episode 6, but it feels like episode 30. But we just wanted to share it unfiltered, like our journey, the goods and the bads, and what it took to get here. And also, thank you for your support. So let's break it down. Quick bullet point list with script generation. We have scheduling, set design, getting comfortable on camera, technical issues every time, and editing, social media, platform setups, being sick, and then yes, navigating guests, trying to get that to happen. And so let's start from the top, Sean. Talk about script generation. You led this from the front and kind of building our framework.
At least I feel seasoned when it comes to what to talk about. In its first 5 episodes so far, it's been kind of finding our voice in a way that's still structured to where we can, kind of have a cohesive episode each time.
What Sean said is exactly right because we realized very quickly you have to have a structure and you have to have a plan, or otherwise you might do it for like 2 weeks. But if you
Yeah,
don't build something that's like somewhat sustainable and something that you can systematize, so you kind of know what to expect and the flow of our show, and we've modified it a little bit, but I
sure.
think we've just improved it. I don't think we've completely changed the structure.
Yeah, it's more for the structure. It's not like script word for word what we're saying. Maybe, the intros might need a little assistance, but when it comes to the layout of the episode, it's nice to have more of a talking points to kind of hit these
Yeah.
milestones in each episode and make sure we cover what we want to cover.
Yeah, because like this right now is bullet pointed, but as we're talking through them, that part's not scripted. And we don't necessarily mean like a full script. It's like a structure and
Yeah.
it's a formula that we follow. And so you do need to put some time into that. You do need to play with Chat Gemini. And I'm so scarred. Anyways, scheduling is probably the most annoying part for Sean because this is where our life comes in to play.
Life happens. So scheduling, it's a juggle, finding good times to do this, and it happens to be late at night. But it works out. My schedule being a little more lenient than Sean's, but like it's nice that we kind of are able to pencil out a time to do this. Whether it's we can get one episode in for one night or we get a couple in.
Yeah, and we did have to try different times, and we've had rescheduling on times that didn't work. We've found our evening time because, spoiler alert, this is still a side hustle for us. And so
Yeah.
this is our moonlight. And so it's not because we love the dark and the light. We would much rather shoot this at 8 a.m. and do whatever we want the rest of the day. But for us, this is what we have to do it at night. And then we also have to work around our guests. Our first guest, as you saw, was in California. So we would have to move times for guests as well. The set design is where you can talk about the level of production. If you guys go back and look at all the episodes, my set has shifted around every time about 7 inches one way or another because I keep my office is not only my office, my wife works in here and my kid does some stuff over here. So we're constantly like moving this around. So, Sean, how
Yeah.
was set? Yours has been a little more consistent,
Mine, I was about to
but
say mine's been a little more consistent, kind of messing with the camera angles, see where it works best, and lighting, of course, too. Like there's a big shadow behind me, but sorry, my cats were attacking.
there's so many things to set design, but it takes time. And but the biggest thing is I think we just kept going and kept morphing it and kept trying. And we were fortunate to have gear.
Yeah, as filmmakers, it was nice to have more professional starting point.
Yeah. So we're not talking anything about investment in this podcast, but it definitely could be a minimum of $400 or $500 to get started if you even if you just didn't have a mic and or any type of anything.
Yeah.
That definitely leads us into getting I would say more into technical issues. We'll talk about getting comfortable on camera next because that's a funny one. God, technical issues, man.
Yeah, my heart just dropped there for a second because I didn't see
I
the
know.
red light going, but it was
It's
hiding behind a cord, so we're good.
Yeah, and we recorded the first episode 3 times. If
Yes.
anybody wants to know, because we screwed it up on both ends.
Can't be
So,
perfect. So this
can't,
is like episode 10 actually.
yeah, yeah. So, but we just kept failing upward and forward, and we plan to continue doing that. So, anything you want to say about technical issues?
Well, honestly, like that kind of leads into like getting comfortable on camera because of the technical issues. We had an opportunity to film the first episode a few times, and that got at least me more comfortable on camera. I still think the first couple episodes, our dynamic isn't, it hasn't been found yet, but we get more comfortable. So in a way, comfortability, like I kind of just disassociate after I edit the videos. I can kind of step back and say, okay, this is, me recording a podcast. I'm able to feel a little more vulnerable talking about, more personal things or stuff with you. So,
I agree with you because in the beginning, you're recording and you have no idea how it's going to edit together.
yeah.
And then you also have no idea what it's going to feel like once it goes online.
Yes.
For us, that lasted a while because we recorded like 4 months in advance,
Yeah.
maybe more. But the point is we carried this unknowing for a while just because of what we were building in our time constraints. It's moving
Mhm.
much faster now. But that first posting. You're like, I know I've watched it 5 times at least before it went live, but I'm still like, once it goes live, I'm like, oh my God, I just threw myself out there in front of everybody. It's like going to school in your underwear, that dream, you know?
Yeah, there's a little anxiety with it, but it's been positive, kind of reinforcement, positive comments so far. One leading more for you for criticism, I guess you could say.
I fully surrender that it is Ewan McGregor. I was wrong, internet. Also, I knew that I was wrong, so I win. Anyways,
Yeah.
um, and the other thing is we started this podcast because we just wanted to be ourselves. Like it's not really a character. We kind of act like this all day long. There's a different
Yeah.
dynamic between both of us. We kind of act this way all day long. So I guess that's another tidbit is try to be authentic and try to talk about things you actually kind of do know about and fortunate for us, we know a lot about a little about a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And that helps with editing for my sake because what we do in our professional setting, it's more manicured. You can't you're supposed to take out the long pauses, the ums, but here it's more comfortable where our dynamic is good enough where we can leave in those mistakes. Like I made the mistake of saying Cinderella instead of Snow White for the live action. I kept it in there.
Mhm.
Like as editor, I could have easily taken that out, but it's nice to keep those mistakes in because it's more authentic.
It's also very nice when Sean makes a mistake because it's very rare.
Yeah.
So,
You're not the only
anyway,
one.
so getting comfortable on camera, it does lead into technical issues because you can be so nervous when you're recording, you miss that your camera automatically stopped recording or you're almost at your time limits. So, that we could talk about that for days, but editing, Sean has edited so much.
Socials, full podcasts, just getting everything up and running on a schedule. Like we mentioned, we had kind of a few months in advance to prep for this, but having, the opportunity in the future to go more like weekly, more live to get, more audience involvement will be an interesting challenge, but I think we're kind of getting there with the editing platforms we're working with, the streaming
Yeah.
platforms. So,
Yeah. And for our AI users, we are trying desperately to use AI tools with editing, not because we're trying to destroy the industry, but because we want to do more podcasts and
yeah.
editing is a bottleneck for everybody. And it's not, if we can get more of the AI done, Sean can do more creative things. But on this whole topic, we once again are fortunate that Sean is very creative and skilled with this stuff. But even if you were just doing the simplest editing, it's still going to take a lot of time.
We can post whenever we're ready, And
Yeah.
so that helps with editing too. We can
Yeah.
make it our own voice.
Yeah. Podcasting is your voice. So make it yours. And this is ours. So, um,
Shot squared.
social media, we are playing the game. We're trying to get it out there, but you have to toy with do you add stuff to your platform and do you
Yeah.
bother your audience? And so I think we're slowly growing past our own audience and that's been really exciting, but social media is a lot of work as well.
It's a tough battle because the followers you have previously, they didn't, sign up to listen to your podcast. So whether or not we've lost followers on our personal channels, that's beside the point. But it's cool to have an audience kind of right away. If they want to make the leap over to that social media, that's fantastic. We would love that.
Yeah. You want to jump in on I guess we could reveal how we started and maybe where we're going?
Yeah, so we are cheapskates and we did free versions to start, so we are on Zoom
Of
for free.
everything.
But now we're fully invested and we want to make this the best for us and for you guys. And so we are jumping to a different streaming to that has more capabilities when it comes to recording with guests and help with editing afterwards. Kind of the full package.
Yeah. Announcements coming up very shortly. We have a couple things to get through here. So stick with us. Being sick, having a real life will derail, but once you get this thing going, you have to keep it week to week. So my daughter, I didn't tell you this, Sean. I
Oh yeah.
showed my daughter the trailer you just texted me,
Yeah.
and she got mad because she's like, it didn't tell me anything. Like, I need to know more.
Oh yeah, that's the
Yeah, yeah.
point.
So you hooked her. You hooked.
Yeah, that's good.
So in the beginning, it's a lot harder to convince everyone around you that you need to do this, or people need to sacrifice for you, or you need to push through when you're sick. But being sick or just real life can throw wrenches in something like this. So you have to have a strategy and a backup for it. But don't be afraid to push through.
Yeah. Consistency is key, and it's like this kind of goes into the next thing, our biggest like and dislike. One of
Hmm.
one of my biggest dislikes
Uh-oh.
was constantly looking at the likes and the views. It's like again, we are doing this for you, but in the meantime, we're doing it for us. This is something we want to continue doing, and it is important to check analytics to see again what's working, what's not working. But it's just watching those views and watching those likes, and it's like if they don't go up higher than expect, then you just kind of got to deal with it, pivot maybe, see what works, see what doesn't work, and keep going.
Yeah, I do think there's a strategy that plays into it, but everybody knows that YouTube and podcasting are a marathon, not a sprint. And
Definitely.
I also heard some of the most successful YouTubers would keep doing it even if they didn't get paid, or they started doing it because they loved it. And so you have, like, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I've enjoyed
Yeah,
it since the first time we sat down and did it. All the shit we threw away, I still enjoyed redoing the redos. And so it has taught me so much about what I'm capable of, and it's fun. And I
yeah,
think the only thing I would change is if it doesn't become fun, I would find out what do we need to shift to make it fun and more interesting. But you do have to pause every few weeks and gather data to keep it if you want it to grow. So it's like you can't live on it day to day, and there's going to be the highs, but yes, in the beginning, when you start launching, that stupid social media dopamine hit keeps kicking in.
yep,
And once you get past your initial followers and you're building a new audience, it slows down, right?
yeah,
And so there's that like, wait, what's happening? And you just have to not get caught up in that. For some reason, I feel like I've been a little better about it, which I thought that I would be the one panicking. I'm not saying you're panicking, but like I feel like I've fathered us through this so far.
okay. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, you're getting a taste of like this is what we discuss in our free time at work. It just these are our conversations. You're getting like an inside scoop every week, just 20 minutes of kind of what we talk about daily, So
Yeah.
that's what makes it special.
I don't really have a biggest dislike about what we're doing. I just wish I had more data now. Like we're still in the launching phase, 6 episodes later.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it from a business standpoint, that's only 6 weeks. That's not a lot of data,
No.
you know? And so I just want to keep making content that's really fun for our audience to listen to, but I don't have enough data, but we have to keep producing. So
Yep.
we're just gonna keep doing what we love until we learn a little more from you guys, and then we'll toy with that. Yeah, it kind of leads us into our big announcement. Sean, do you want to do
Yeah.
it?
Been talking about it all episode. I'm excited.
All episode been leaking it, and it's just it's not a big thing, but it is a big thing. So go for it.
Well, yeah, like we've been kind of hinting out this whole episode, we really want this to be involving you guys as much as we can. So, it's Sean Squared Unfiltered Opinions. But at this point, you should know we have some unfiltered opinions that we'll always say. So we are switching the tagline and our perspective on this podcast to you guys. So it's Sean Squared for the creatives, and that's exactly what it is. It's for you guys. It's for the creatives. It's for those that might be stuck looking for something else to do. It might be those that are against AI and those for it and will want to explore that more. So we really hope you guys keep listening. And we have our insights. We know a little about a lot, but we hope to hear from you guys. Get you on the podcast, whether it's through content that you share with us or having you on, in person. Who knows? But anything to add to that, Sean?
We want to hear your comments. We want to know what you're thinking about or your questions or give us challenges. Like dive into this. Like in episode 3, we talked about promptography and it
Yeah.
was fascinating. And we were able to go dive in, research with it, play with it, talk about it. But it would be more fun if it came from you guys and then we can try it, look like fools, or
Yeah.
maybe do something cool and we can keep educating. Also, if you have questions about our experience, we're going to dive into things later like wedding filmmaking and getting football gigs and contracts and we're going to keep talking and having a good time. But if you guys want to learn some things, we can teach you a little bit about those things.
Yeah, absolutely. So head on over. You're already on YouTube, so might as well. You're one step there. Just head on over to the community tab, leave a comment, make your mark. We're excited to hear what you have to say and any challenges you have for us.
But the reason we changed it the most to the creators is not for this community. It's because the creators have to stick together in the future and work with, around, and between AI. I don't know. Like, none of us know what it's going to turn out to be.
Yeah,
But if we can be in control of it as much as possible, then we can continue to morph into these new things. So it is for the creatives of the future. That's we are what we're trying to be, and we want you to come with us.
absolutely. We're excited.
Okay. Last thing, we have not forgot our movie review. Don't forget.
Nope.
We're running out of time, but go to HBO, watch Mickey 17 is fascinating. Sean, have you seen this?
I have, yes. It's by the director Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite, and I believe that won like best movie back in 2019, 2020. So fantastic director, great story. We'll get into that next week, but go watch.
And if you want to join Team Sean, it was another one that I watched without a trailer, and I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer. Not that the trailer's terrible, but it made the movie such a wild ride. The whole time I was like, what is
Yes.
happening, right?
Yeah. Or join me and watch the trailer. Trailers are completely up to you. If they give it away, I think they do a lot better job. They show like the first 10 minutes of the movie. All the rest, you're left wondering. But I see a movie every month in the theater, so I have to see these trailers because they're going to pop up. So I'm team trailer. Hope you guys are too.
Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching Sean Squared. We hope that you have a great week, and we'll see you next week for another episode. Peace.
Peace.
All right, you ready?
5 episode reflection. Hitting the dab on them.
Hey, Sean. Oh,
Whoa.
Sean, dude. Sean, boy. Sean!
What? What do you want?
Fight a robot.